Hey guys, and welcome to this video.
Today's video is super exciting. As you can see, I've got Manny here, and Manny is my husband, if you don't know. So welcome to our channel. If you're brand new, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. We do a lot of different types of content on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and hang out and stick around. But today is going to be another addition to maybe you would call our infertility content or the IVF journey content. So today we're going to be talking about exactly how much we spent on our IVF cycle. So I do want to preface this video by kind of saying that obviously these amounts are different for every person. So I am not giving you an amount that you would pay for IVF. It really depends on your circumstances, your cause of infertility, maybe some extra surgeries you may need to have, or different things that may come into play. And also every clinic is different. So this is just our personal experience with IVF. We have male factor infertility. We are currently pregnant with our first baby, a baby boy. We're sitting in his room right now. We're 21 weeks and super excited. But I know, there's a whole other side that we walked through, 4 years of infertility. And we have a whole documentation, a whole docuseries about our IVF journey if you want to check that out. But today we just wanted to sit down and be very raw and real, like we always are, about what it really cost for us to do IVF. So let's jump right in. So some of these expenses are gonna be, you'll see a lot of travel expenses and a lot of like hotel and things like that. So in our specific circumstance, we lived a couple of hours, actually about 2.5, what'd you say, 2.5 hours?
Took about 2.5.
Yeah, with traffic sometimes pushing 3.
Yeah.
It was closer to that. We did IVF in Dallas area in Plano. And so it took, thank you. It took, a while to get there and a lot of early morning appointments that has nothing to do with this, but it was a lot. So we did include that in this because that was honestly a pretty big part of the expenses, so.
And what was that called?
Yeah, so it's kind of broken down, I think you're saying, into basically 2 different things. And that's how IVF kind of always will be. You have your IVF cycle, which is really like your retrieval, the whole beginning part of it, the fertilization, which we did with male factor. We did use ICSI, which is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. And you can kind of research that. I know a lot of clinics automatically use ICSI now, but that actually is an additional cost. So yeah, we have the retrieval and all the stuff in the beginning, and then you have a transfer cycle. So we have done a transfer, obviously now I'm pregnant, and so that is a whole other cost. So one thing that we did want to clarify is that when you sit down with a clinic and they give you your price for IVF, you want to make sure that you're kind of understanding that they're not giving you every dollar that you're going to pay. That's not them, deceiving you in any way. It's just that really they don't know exactly how much you'll pay because it is different for everybody. But they're kind of giving you how much basically a retrieval costs. And that's really mostly it. There's a lot of lab work, a lot of appointments, a lot of ultrasounds, a lot of things that they don't give you the price of when you're just sitting there. Now our clinic was very open about how there was going to be other, costs, and we did know that going into it just from research. But it is something good to know because the actual IVF price, which is just basically the in vitro fertilization price, the retrieval and fertilizing the eggs, really isn't as bad as maybe the rest of this is. It really does add up.
And that's because we did get a discount.
Yes.
A non-insurance, that was a discount for not having IVF, whatever, infertility insurance coverage. So that's why it wasn't as much. It's still a lot, but not on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what they typically say, not typically, but at a clinic like ours or many clinics may give you this price. Some are going to be more. I'm sure it depends on where you are, where your location is in the country, in the world. But I think usually a retrieval, like the actual IVF process, I think even like maybe 12,000 is kind of like a given number that people give. Sometimes it's more than that. For us, it was less than that, but it really wasn't supposed to be that much less than that. It was less because we got this, basically because we didn't have insurance, we got a discount on that, which was a good amount, and it was actually a huge blessing. So if you've never been through infertility or, any type of infertility treatment, it's probably going to sound outrageous to you. But if you've been there and you've done that, I know there's people that have spent triple what we've spent, and we had it really easy when it comes to that, which there's no easy in infertility. But, we did have it a lot less expensive than what so many people have. So there's just a wide spectrum.
All right, let's get down into the breakdown of the prices and total. So
yes, and we're giving exact what we can remember, what we've added up, exact prices. It's just we really tried to get it close.
And obviously there's going to be stuff we missed out. Some little things that we didn't really remember to put in or forgot about. So that's that. So you can start off.
Okay, so the first thing was gas/travel. So just a lot of traveling that we did in our specific cycle. This would look different, of course, for everybody. But for that, our total really wasn't bad considering how much we traveled. Now, we did stay in the area. That's one thing I recommend highly. If you're traveling for IVF, we stayed in the area the week of the retrieval. I know that's not an option for everyone. We were super blessed that our boss allowed us to do that, and we took some time off during the retrieval process. So we did stay in the area. That saved us a ton because when it gets closer to retrieval, you go like every day, every other day to the clinic. But our total for gas was $260.20.
Okay, so the next one is our doctor's visits. And that was for myself seeing the urologist and Rose seeing the OB. Total for that was $6,385.
Charade change.
$6,385.43.
And there are, you have bills that come in for maybe you're getting a bill for your doctor visit, and then also for your lab work, and then also for your ultrasound. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of things in this. It's never just one thing. So for medications, this is all of our medication for retrieval and then also for our transfer cycle. So there is a lot of medication. Medication is actually generally one of the most expensive things in this process. You have to repurchase a lot of things, especially for the transfer cycle, and it can really add up. We actually went through Fertility Pharmacy of America for most of our medications when it came to that, and they were really great. Definitely recommend that. But our total for that was $4,735.30.
Next one is for our labs, and that was for blood work and semen analysis. And that total came out to $478.92.
Which you get a lot of blood work done during IVF. So I feel like we had way more blood work than that, but apparently that's what we had. So that it seemed like more at the time. So for the hotel, because we did include that, of course, in our costs, we paid $639.21. So that was a week in Plano when we were doing our retrieval, which it was a great hotel. It was actually
Holiday Inn Express.
Yes, it was a really nice hotel. We loved it there. The bed was super. I even emailed them after to ask what kind of bed it was. That's how nice it was. It was just a regular bed.
We stayed there. How long did you stay there? 9 days?
I think
9 days,
maybe 9 days. Yeah, over a week. Yeah. So it was. We stayed a little bit longer than we even thought we were going to. I think
Monday. Did we go Monday or Tuesday?
We left on Monday after staff meeting, and then we stayed until Tuesday.
Monday until Wednesday.
Wednesday. That's right. So over a week. So that's really not bad.
Okay, so this one, you can introduce this one. I'll tell them the price.
Okay. So this one is the IVF procedures. So this includes ICSI, which I talked about earlier, which is the fertilization method that we went with. Very common for male factor infertility, but like I said, a lot of clinics use it anyway. I really am thankful for ICSI. But it includes ICSI, the retrieval itself. So that is the actual surgery, the egg retrieval. And then also the transfer itself. So not the transfer cycle where medication is included or doctor's appointments or any of that. The actual transfer where they put the embryo in. And the total.
That was $8,436.53. And that was with the discount, as we said. Before, it would have been over $12,000 if we didn't have a discount. So that at least they try to cater to us with that. I know a lot of people don't get that, and we're thankful for that.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people, just for, you know, the procedure itself, pay a lot more than even $12,000. So we really were on the better end of things when it comes to the finances, and we're really grateful for that, because IVF is obviously a huge financial thing. It's very worth it, and we're so grateful that it exists, but it's a very big deal, and it takes a lot of planning, a lot of saving, and thankfully we were in a place where we were able to do that, but it's really hard.
Yeah. So that brought a final total to $20,935.59, which, if you're familiar to the infertility stuff, that's not too bad. It's terrible, but it's not too bad for the infertility world.
Yeah. And I have a whole slew of opinions about insurance and infertility that we won't get into, but if you don't know, it is very rare for somebody to have insurance that would cover infertility. And so most people that are doing this are paying entirely out of pocket. This is not something that they're just using insurance for. And I do want to say, because I know many of you probably understand how this works, and you don't really need everything explained, but we know from going through it that many people have absolutely no idea anything about this, and that's not their fault. There's just a little education, I think, about infertility. And so I like to help with that, just so people can understand better. So I do want to say that with that $20,000, there was a chance, a good chance, because it happens to people a lot, that we could have gotten to the end of that and paid $20,935.59 and had not one embryo in the end. And unfortunately, that happens to people. So we have a much better story than what so many people have, and we could not imagine going through that. So that's one option. We went through it. We got, you can follow our journey on our docuseries, but we had 2 frozen embryos, 2 frozen AA embryos, which is a top quality. Pregnant with one of those right now. So we have 1 other embryo to transfer when we want to have another pregnancy later on. There's always a chance that that doesn't work. We believe for it, and we believe God for it 100%, but there is a chance that that doesn't work. So in order to, you know, create more embryos, if we wanted to do that, we would do the whole process again. So once you're out of those embryos, you have to do it all over again, egg retrieval, all that kind of stuff. So that is how that works. It's not like, you know, some people do this several times. Some people have to get even 1 embryo. So
and sometimes prices will change, so it could be even more than that at the same clinic. Yep. So you never know. Yeah,
and it really can. Things can fluctuate, things can change. Every clinic's different, every place in the world is different. So it really can be a lot more than even this. I mean, people pay just so much money because of cycles failing entirely. And so thankfully we don't have that story, but I did want to point that out because I do get questions often. Well, when you go back to transfer the other embryo, you have to pay everything all over again or whatever. We do have 1 frozen embryo. So when we go back, we'll have to pay for a transfer cycle. So that'll be like the meds, the PIO shots, doctor's appointments. It'll be a good amount of money next time. It'll be thousands of dollars next time to transfer this next embryo. But if that didn't work and we had wanted to do a whole other cycle, then it would be that whole amount again. So it really, a lot of it's dependent on how many embryos you get. And that's just, there's never a guarantee for that. So, you know, you go into it just kind of knowing that you are paying for a health issue. I mean, you're paying to help with a health problem. It's what it is. But, you know, you're paying and hoping for a chance at a pregnancy. You're not paying for a pregnancy. There's no guarantee of a pregnancy. So we just want to kind of lay that out there because we know that's a lot of people's story, and it's unfortunate and it's really sad, but that does happen.
Don't get me started on the insurance stuff.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, insurance does not care much about infertility for sure.
Well, that's all, folks. Well, that's everything. We could have gone into a lot more detail about stuff and a lot more detail about our thoughts on insurance and all of that, but we won't. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any questions or anything that you'd like for us to cover. We love talking about this, so we'd love to sit down again and do another video or millions of videos about this topic because it's something we're really passionate about and something that we have lived through and have some experience in and really enjoy discussing with other people.
Yep, and you may not see me again for a while because Rose is the one who likes the camera, not me.
Manny does a lot behind the scenes, but he's in vlogs though. He's in vlogs pretty often, so if you subscribe, he'll be in the vlogs. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, I always say this, but if you are in the pits and the trenches of this, I know when we first were told that we would need IVF to conceive, IVF with ICSI was automatically what we would need. I do want to say we never did any other fertility treatment. That might be a question that comes up. IUI and all of that was never an option for us. So we did go straight from just trying to conceive naturally to IVF. So it's the biggest, most invasive, expensive fertility treatment out there. And we did go straight to that because with our particular issue, that was what was necessary. But I do want to say, you know, if you are when we were first told that we would have to do this, my first response to Manny was, I don't know how we're going to pay for that. I don't know how we're going to afford that. We are not rich. We're pastors in Texas. And so thankfully we just had, you know, savings and things that were huge for us and was absolutely what we needed. And it was a huge blessing. God really set this up almost to the dollar of what we would need in advance, years and years ago. And so we were very blessed with that, but we know it's a huge stressful thing, that even just the financial side, much less the part about is it gonna work and all this stuff, but the finances are really hard and stressful. So we're praying for you guys and you will get through it. You will see the other side and it is so worth it. So we're praying for you. Let us know how we can pray for you specifically. But we will see you in the next one. Remember, you are incredible. Jesus loves you. We'll see you next time. Bye.